Okay, remember, just have fun.
Okay. Hello. So you were saying that you had an accident.
Yeah, I was working in the Yukon and in a gold mine, and I had a serious fall off the back of the sluice box and dropped about 9 feet backwards, broke my neck. C5 was crushed, and so I had to, after some time, I wound up having a spinal fusion because it wasn't resolving easily and it was creating a lot of problems. So the spinal fusion wasn't a good solution either.
No.
That just created different
More
problems. Yeah, more and different. Yeah. And so from there, I started, I had pursued all the possibilities in the mainstream medicine and wasn't getting the solutions, wasn't getting the relief. So I started looking at energetic medicine, and that brought me into quantum biofeedback, which was extraordinary. So that was like a whole new avenue of medicine that was working basically on frequency.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I experienced such tremendous improvement in quantum biofeedback that I wound up buying the device, and that launched a whole career in traveling the world and teaching quantum biofeedback and energetic medicine. And of course, under that umbrella, there was a lot of study involved. We had to have a working knowledge in naturopathy, homeopathy, acupuncture.
Which is all tied in, isn't it? The whole thing.
Yeah, it's such a synergy, right?
Yes,
Because healing is always multifactorial, right? And disease or illness or disturbance always begins in the spiritual realm, filters through into the emotional realm. Yeah. By the time it's in the physical, that's the slowest, densest level of our reality. So disturbances will always be multifactorial. So true healing has to occur on all the levels in order to really resolve whatever the underlying issue is. Otherwise, we're just doing band-aids, right? Yeah. And you might get some relief or you might get some solution, but inevitably, if the underlying issue is not being resolved, we wind up reoccurrence, or the disease processes or whatever's going on will find a different avenue through the body to express itself.
So different lessons as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
And do you think, when with the accident, this is something that launched you into that? It was where you were meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I always choose hard path, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So, it gave me a whole new way of working in the world. And so I became a practitioner, and then I wound up working directly with the Quantum Alliance, and we developed a whole training curriculum and took it across the world. So it was pretty fantastic for a number of years. Got to travel, extensively, lots of different countries, and work with all kinds of practitioners, doctors. And it's interesting, the Asian doctors were very open to energetic medicine. Absolutely. Because that's, so ingrained in their society. Yeah. And whereas the Western doctors are a bit slower to come to the table. But
they're
eventually
getting there now, though.
They're getting there now. And we did have a lot of amazing Western doctors working with us as well.
Think about the knowledge that you have now and where it's going now in this area, this area that you and the field that your expertise is. It's going to explode. Energetic medicine.
I think you're absolutely right. I think people are ready.
Yeah.
And it's like when we started Miracle Products, we had a lot of criticism about using the word miracle, right? And I said, I think the world's ready for miracles, and now especially, right? It's time.
Yeah. And I mean, from the people that I speak to on the phone, they are life-changing. They have changed people's lives, really. Yeah. In a miraculous way.
That's why we keep doing what we do.
Are.
Yeah. It's so exciting, isn't it? People that have tried so many other products and not get results. Yeah. And so it's very, very encouraging.
Yeah, it is. Inspiring. It's amazing. And so with the dynamic enhancement, how does that work on the products?
Well, it incorporates, so obviously we're working with a physical substance, so that's addressing the physicality. The beauty of the dynamic enhancement is now it's going to be covering the spiritual emotional components right? So it's a frequency-based system based on Nikola Tesla, Walter Russell, so many amazing historical figures that gave us a huge comprehension of energy and working with energy. And so the Tesla scalar system that we work with incorporates so many different modalities into the device. So it's using optical quality quartz crystals, gold filament windings, inert noble gases, all the inert noble gases, as well as near infrared, far infrared. So it's all incorporated into one system. And then the different frequency programs. And we put special emphasis on the 528 hertz frequency, because that's the frequency, that's the real heart resonance frequency. And that is also known to correct damaged DNA. So we thought that was the perfect frequency for miracle products. It's also known as the miracle frequency, right?
Yes, yep.
So very exciting. And so one of the most incredible things about it is that it imbues the frequency and the information into the product, and even X-ray cannot disturb that frequency. Nothing can alter that frequency. It's like permanent. And it also extends the lifespan of the products. The shelf life is greatly enhanced. And, you know, by standards, we have to put, you know, best before dates on a lot of product. And so I always tell people, look, they're worried they had it sitting on a shelf for a long time, and, you know, it's expired, right? And it's like, look, we had a belly bugs that had been sitting in an office top shelf for like, we reckon it must have been about 7 years, right?
Yeah, 7 years.
And so we thought, it's probably inert at this point. You know, the bacteria are probably not functional, but it was tested. And it still was perfectly fine. Wow. So
7 years later,
exactly,
not
right?
in the fridge. It was on the shelf.
No, just on the shelf in a hot office too, right?
Wow.
So nothing seems to alter that. Once it's stabilized with Tesla scalar, it seems to extend the shelf life pretty permanently, I'd say.
Yeah. Wow, that's extraordinary. And so with the, you had another accident, and that brought you to the Miracle Mist.
Yeah. So that was another trajectory change.
And that was your launch, wasn't it? The first product you ever put out there?
Yes. So that was a bike accident. It had been raining for months, and so the walkways and so on were everything was just saturated. So finally a sunny break came out, and so I said to Laz, I said, let's go biking. So we took off and mountain biking, and I came to, so this guy's like spraying pesticide along the trail. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go really fast to pass this guy because I don't want to hold my breath. Right? But it was right before a hill. And so I scooted past him, and then I'm going down the hill. And of course, between the concrete paving, there was like sleepers, which were saturated wet. So I hit the sleeper on the turn. My wheel flipped. I went over and completely injured myself, something woeful. Yeah. So as a result of that injury, I was in a really bad way. And we'd heard about magnesium chloride being really good for pain relief, nerve damage, that type of thing. And I was getting a lot of a resurgence of like bouts of paralysis and a lot of nerve pain in my arms and hands. And so we had tried, you know, different formulas that were out there available on the market, and I really didn't like them. Like some were really sticky, some were really prickly. And so I said to Laz, I said, you know, I'm sure we can do this better. So we started looking at and sampling different magnesium chloride from different places around the world. And we found one that was just pristine. I mean, some you mix the batch and it stinks like a rotten sea sponge, right? Just horrible. It's like, yeah, you want to put that on your body. So this one, there was no smell, and it was just pure and crystal clear. And when you mixed the batch, it was just like an opalescent sheen in the water. It was just gorgeous. And that became the Miracle Mist. Yeah. So, and that one, it was just amazing. You know, so I was, at that time, I would be plastering it on, like from, you know, the whole body, but just all day long, spraying, putting it on. But within very short order, my pain was getting less and less and less. And now I just use it twice a day as a go-to. Yeah. Just to, you know, keep my magnesium levels up and, you know, just keep everything humming along.
Yeah. me too. I get up in the morning, I take my iodine, I spray the magnesium all over my front part and the back as well, and it just keeps me going.
Excellent. Yeah, and you had quite a thing with your
I
spine
did
as well.
Yeah. So I was born with a cult spina bifida, and was, because now it's been sorted. I think when I first met you, I had just had Rian, maybe 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
And I'd gone to see 3 naturopaths before that, just to kind of help me, balance my hormones. And I knew there was something else underlying. And after I had Rian, though, so after I had all my children, the back really reared its ugly head. And that's when I had, back in Ireland, I had a scan done, and I'd gone to see a chiropractor, and he said, I know what this is, but we need to get you checked out first. So he said, this is, he confirmed it was a cult spina bifida. It wasn't so bad then. It got worse after I had the kids and everything.
Yeah, that's
and
a lot of stress.
A lot of stress, carrying the children and all of that kind of stuff. So in particular, though, after I had Rian, because he was a very big baby, and even carrying him, when I did have him and I was carrying him, it was a lot. And so I was in a lot of pain, couldn't do very much, couldn't travel very much, had to think, how far is that going to be? I'm going to be crippled for days, and so pain was pretty much present in my life every single day, because what happened was it's a neuron tube defect, and it capped off at the last minute, but it caused a deformity when it capped off, and the bone would literally move out, and it was kind of free flowing. And then after I'd had the children, it caused PARS, which is kind of like it's a little fracture in the spine, and it took a long time to heal from that. But when I met you and Larry, there was other stuff going on as well, from I couldn't store iron. I'd never been able to store iron, and different issues. So lots of inflammation, lots of histamine, all that kind of stuff. And I think stress, lots and lots of stress from pain. And
it wears you out.
It does, because it was so present in my life every single day.
Yeah.
It makes it very small.
Yes.
It makes your life very, very small.
Indeed.
You're in a small space.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I met you and Larry at the market in Caloundra, and you put me on Life Force to remineralize my body and to help ground, and the Camu Camu, and I took them diligently every single day, consistently, 1/4 teaspoon. And it was maybe a month or 2 before I really started noticing a difference, because I think I was very depleted. And that's when I started kind of seeing that it was very pure, because my body's very sensitive, and I was able to digest it very easily, whereas other tablets, you take them and I felt very sick, and it made it worse. And you get constipated, or I'd feel kind of like nausea, and I didn't feel any better from them. But with the Life Force, and the thing about the Life Force too, because I was working doing Reiki and energetic healings and different things, different modalities I put together, the Life Force helped me to feel present in my body, grounded. I felt grounded. Great. For the first time in a very long time. And
awesome.
Present in my body, present in my mind. I found the Camu Camu just extraordinary as well. So they were the first 2 products you ever put me on. And
I think the Miracle Mist too at that time.
I think the Miracle Mist came because I kept going back to you.
Oh, okay. Because I remember your story in the pain, right? Here, try this.
So I tried the Miracle Mist, and from there, then I went on to the MSM, because and I did 1/4 teaspoon for a very long time. I'm up to 2 teaspoons now, a day. But my body had been quietly, slowly healing itself from the inside with the products, And but I remember I was still in a lot of pain, but other issues were kind of being sorted out, you know.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of incremental, you know. You need to give your body, and there's all these layers that it goes through. But and you know, I'd gone to see a lot of other people too, used a lot of other modalities to help heal my body. But I feel that helping it nutritionally, you know, really anchored all of that in.
Yeah. And minerals are always the foundation. Hey.
It was only really when I started with the Life Force that really made it apparent for me.
Right.
Because with the work that I do, it's very, you know, you're bringing in all of that energy. It puts the body under. You wouldn't think it, but when you're actually in that rarefied field, it uses a lot of your own electrolytes. Yeah. So your body's using it all up very rapidly, and then I was being depleted, and I couldn't understand why.
Right.
But I learned then after that.
Yeah.
So when I did all my healings on people, Life Force would replenish that, and I wouldn't feel depleted anymore. It was really good. Yeah. So then I had another x-ray because I was still in a lot of pain with my back, and the x-ray showed that there was no deformity anymore. It was all cleared up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's what I mean. My body was quietly healing itself.
It's the same thing. Like I had another x-ray done on my neck, and they can't even tell where the crushed vertebrae was, where it was fused.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your body's...
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. And, you know, and really, the body knows what to do.
Yeah.
The body knows how to heal.
Yeah.
We just have to get the other stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And give it the information that it needs in order to repair. And that's obviously minerals are so essential. That, you know, that's just base. That's just absolutely essential. And then everything from there, incorporating the frequency, the energetics, and the clearing of the emotional baggage.
Yes. I've got a lot of stuff around that too.
Well, I'm pretty sure there isn't anybody who doesn't.
No, that's true.
We all come in with our stuff.
Yes. With the Blue Zone, I know we're jumping from product to product, but this, you know, I have to tell you, when you first got the Blue Zone in, I bought it and I left it on the shelf for a while because I was like, I'm not sure yet, you know. I'll try you in a wee while, you know. I'm very sensitive, so you have to be, you know, gentle with me. And I think energetically though, I could feel it. And so I let it into my field for a while before I did. And then I had read that it helps with PTSD, complex childhood PTSD, all of that. And I was a bit stressed thinking it's going to bring up everything and I'll have to relive things or, you know, go through things. That wasn't the way it worked at all. And I did 10 drops the first day in the morning, just because I thought I'll just test and see. My body's quite sensitive, so I'll just go through that. And so I rang you the next day because that night I went to bed and I had sparkles in my brain. Do you remember this? You probably don't remember me because you have millions of people ringing you, you know. Sparkles in my brain. I was like, oh my God, this feels really nice actually, but what is it? I remember ringing and saying, this is what happened. And you said it was oxygenating parts of the brain that hasn't had a chance to get that oxygen for a very long time. So I thought, okay, I really like this.
Yeah. Awesome.
So 3 weeks after using it, that's when I felt all of the stored trauma, and maybe not even my own, you know, generational things like that. It kind of started bubbling up, but I didn't have to feel it or deal with it. It just disappeared. Yeah.
And that, to me, it's a tragedy. Like, so many people get stuck in the having to relive it, having to reprocess it, and honestly, that just keeps you there. Right? Forget it. Just let it go.
It's like picking a scab.
Exactly, because it will. You just need to bring yourself into alignment, and all of that stuff will resolve itself. And so, always revisiting, focusing on it, thinking about it, that just keeps you stuck there. So, so awesome for you to see that.
And with the pain though, I couldn't understand why I was still in pain. But then I didn't really understand about the connective tissue at that
Right.
stage. So
Yeah.
I've delved deep into that since then. But the fascia that, you know, holds us all together.
All the soft tissues.
Yeah, all the soft tissues,
Yeah.
holds you together, and the layers that it has, and the fluid that's supposed to flow through. I didn't understand any of that,
Right.
and that was where it was all lower back, and
Yeah, your fascia was probably just fused solid.
completely,
Yeah.
and that's why I was
Yeah,
in pain.
Same.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the triple R.
Yeah, triple R.
Triple R. Yeah, you used me as a guinea pig, and that was great. And the triple R, you hadn't had the aloe vera in it at that stage.
That's
so it
right.
felt
so
like
it was a bit strong.
it was strong.
Yeah.
But I remember picking it up from yours and heading home, and I was in pain, and I thought I pulled over, put it on, and it was like a sunburn that was kind of getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll just go through this. It's fine, you know. Got home, that feeling had gone, and the pain was gone.
Yeah.
And I haven't had it back since.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the triple R is like next level
Yeah.
for pain relief. And it's taken us a while to come up with that formula,
Yeah.
but I'm really stoked about it.
I know,
too.
me too.
And yeah, so your feedback was phenomenal, because then I realized, okay, so for most people, and most people are so seriously sulfur deficient, right? And they don't realize that it's like the fourth most important mineral in the body, right? It's so essential, because that's what all our soft tissue needs, sulfur, to
Yeah.
repair and regenerate. So with the triple R, so it's got the DMSO in it, which is the main sulfur component, and that's the majority of the product. But the aloe vera adds a whole new dimension to it, and it in and of itself is so healing. But that gel just softened the whole thing, so that you don't get the burning.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
original formula, it was too strong for most people.
It was, yes,
Because
yeah.
particularly when you're low in sulfur, that's
Yeah.
when you notice the burn.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Miracle Mist, right? People, it is at concentration level. We can't make it any stronger. We tried that. We can't make it any stronger, because any more and it just solidifies and you can't spray it. Right. So
wow.
it's right at saturation level.
Yeah.
So we that's why we looked at, okay, we need something that's got a little bit more oomph.
Yes.
And then came triple R, and and the aloe just made it that much softer for absorption through the skin, and allows people to tolerate that level of sulfur.
Yeah,
that
it's
they
quite a
need.
lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not done yet. I just want to stop you for just a second. That was amazing.
Really?
By the way, I'm so in love right now with both of you. I'm going to take everything.